This is Activity 1-1 on page 10, Navigating within a Word document. The data file that we'll be working with in this activity is Building with Heart. Building with Heart is a nonprofit volunteer organization that helps families in need buy affordable, safe, and healthy homes. It is located in the fictional city of Green City, Richland. As a Building with Heart staff member, you are going to write a cover letter to accompany a fact sheet that you are sending out to a potential supporter. You will start by opening and examining the brochure. So number one, open the fact sheet from the Windows desktop. I'm logged into my server for BART PC and I'm on my desktop right now. And we're going to go down to our File Explorer. Now, your textbook will tell you that your files are located in a different place. I believe they usually say like the C drive or something like that. Ours are always going to be saved in our home drive. So that is kind of like our cloud service, but it's on our servers. So if you were to log on to a different server, if you had your files saved on the home drive, you would be able to access them from any server. Okay, so any documents that you're saving, whether it be personal, if you make an invitation to a party or something on the server, make sure you save it to the home drive and not the actual C drive or my documents. Don't save it there. If you download something, move it from your downloads folder into your home drive. You can create your own folder if need be. Because if you have to move to a different server, if one goes down, for example, you'll still be able to access all of those documents. So to get to your home drive, you would go to this PC in the left-hand pane. Then your home drive is your first initial, last name. So just double click on that. And then you have all of your subject folders. So this week we're studying Word Part 1. Each textbook has its own folder. When I double click that, I get some subfolders. These subfolders correlate to the chapter that you're in. So we're lesson 1, and that's titled Getting Started with Word 2019. If you ever need to know the title of your lesson, if you look at the bottom of page 10, it'll tell you the lesson number and the title. So any files that you need while you're working in lesson 1 will be in that Getting Started with Word 2019 subfolder. So I'm going to double click to open that subfolder, and it shows me I have 2 documents in here. I have Building with Heart, and I also have Notes from Brainstorming Session. All right, so we want to open Building with Heart. I'm going to double click to open up that document. All right, so number 2 says to identify major components of the Word application window. Up in the top left-hand corner, we have our quick access toolbar. In the middle, at the top of our application window, this is our title bar. So it tells me the document I have open and active right now is Building with Heart. In the top right-hand corner, I have my minimize, my restore down or maximize buttons, depending on how expanded your application window is right now. If I was to restore that down, then it becomes the maximize button. Your close button, you have your share button, then you have your major toolbar, which is known as your ribbon. You have your main document area. Down at the bottom, you have your status bar, which includes to the right your zoom slider. And to the right, you have your scroll bar. Now taking another look at your ribbon along the top, you have your different ribbon tabs. You have your Tell Me box. Within each ribbon tab, you have your command group names along the bottom. And then within each command group, you have your command buttons. All right, number 3 says to adjust the document view on the ribbon, select the View tab. The ribbon is organized into tabs. Each tab is further organized into command groups. A variety of groups are shown under the View tab, including Views, your Show group, Zoom, Window, and Macros. You may have a few additional groups as well. You may not. Don't worry if you don't have the immersive group or the SharePoint group, as long as you have your default groups. Examine the various view modes shown in your Views group. You can change how the Word application presents the document by choosing how you want to work with the document. In the Views group, select the Draft view. The draft view is good to use when you want to focus on typing or creating your rough draft because it is fast, streamlined, and it hides graphics. In the Views group, select Web Layout. The Web Layout view is good to use if the ultimate destination for your page is the web because it shows how the document will appear if published as a web page. Now we're going to switch to Read mode. The Read mode view is optimized for reading long, largely textual documents. Remember, it scrolls side to side and not up and down. And to exit your Read mode, you go up to your View button and select Edit Document, and it changes you back to your Print Layout view. And your Print Layout view is good for general editing and document creation, and preparing a document for printing because it shows all graphics, formatting, page breaks, and layout, simulating what you'd see if you printed the document. So you will be using Print Layout for the majority of the time. Number 4, get help changing the zoom level of a document. Observe how much of the document you can see in your document area. Depending on your monitor size and dimensions, you can probably see only a small portion of a page. You could see more if you zoom out to change the scaling of the document. We're going to go up to our ribbon and we're going to click into our Tell Me text box. And from here we want to type in Zoom without hitting enter. The Tell Me text box is at the top center of the ribbon just below the title bar. As you type, a live search feature provides a list of suggested commands and an option to view help and smart lookup. We're going to select Get Help on Zoom. So down towards the bottom. And additional links to articles about Zoom appear in a secondary menu. If you have the option Zoom in or out of a document, presentation, or worksheet, go ahead and click that top option. And the article opens up in our Help pane. You can scroll up and down to read the article. This feature provides one way to get help in Word. All right. We can close out of that. Number 5, use Tell Me to quickly find a word command. We're going to click back into the Tell Me text box and type Zoom again. Items in the top group of results are actual word commands that you can select. So these up top are actual commands. We're going to select View Whole Page. And the document scales so that one page fits completely within the application window. The trade-off for seeing a whole page is that text is very small. We're going to click into the Tell Me text box again, and the command that we just used is now shown in the Recently Used section. You could reissue the command by selecting it if you wanted to. We can hit Escape to exit out of the Tell Me box. This Tell Me feature is very handy when you can't find a command in Word's ribbon. On the other hand, you will still want to become familiar with commands on the ribbon, as it will typically be faster to access a command from the ribbon than to type its name in the Tell Me box. Number 6 is an optional step only if you have a mouse wheel. So if you have that scrolling mouse wheel, you could actually hover over your ribbon tab names and scroll back and forth. So you can select a tab without having to actually click on it. And this provides a quick way to scan for a particular command in the ribbon without having to select each tab. Notice that the only ones that it does not scroll to would be your File tab to open the Backstage view or the Tell Me text box. Number 7, size the document to fit the application window. On the ribbon, we want to go back to our View tab, and in our Zoom command group, observe the various scaling commands. So we have Zoom, which opens our dialog box. We have 100%, one page, multiple pages, and page width. So all commands in the Zoom group are related to zooming or scaling the document. We're going to select the multiple pages command, and the document is scaled so you can now see 2 pages at once. If you look down on your status bar towards your zoom slider, you can see mine shows 43%. The book actually says 56%. Yours will more than likely say something else as well. Don't expect these numbers to match. It really depends on your monitor size, and the chance of them matching up is pretty slim. So don't worry if the number is different. Letter D says to select the zoom minus control several times to make the document pages appear smaller. As you zoom out, you get a better overall sense of page structure and layout, but text may become more difficult to read. So you can see where graphics and tables are located, different sections. As I hit my plus sign and zoom in, now I can see more detail, but not as much overall structure and page layout. And as I continue to zoom in, you can see it changes to one page. So fewer pages can be shown at one time as well. I'm going to go back up to my View tab, and in my Zoom group, I'm going to select Page Width. The page zooms to a size that fits the page between the left and right edges. In many situations, this is an ideal view for editing and reading a document, as it enables you to see the full document width with text that is typically large enough to read. Number 8, use the scroll bars to navigate the document. Try out each of these controls in the scroll bar and observe the result. We're going to select the down arrow, and you can see as I click it, it scrolls down one line at a time. Opposite, when I hit the up arrow, it's going to scroll up one line at a time. If I were to select the area below my scroll box, it's going to scroll down one page at a time. And then the area above the scroll box is going to scroll up one page at a time. And then also I can click and drag my scroll box to navigate to a specific spot in my document. So we're going to drag and scroll this to the middle of our document, and you can see the page break here. So we can see where page 1 ends and page 2 begins. Number 9, use the keyboard to navigate the document. We're going to press page up. This moves you up the document one screen at a time, and then of course page down will scroll you one screen down at a time. Control End will bring you to the very end of the document, and Control Home will bring you to the very beginning of the document. Now, depending on your keyboard, there might be different keys that you may have to hold. I know that sometimes you might have to hit the function key as well. Depends on the size of your keyboard and how it's set up. So you may have to do Control and the function key, which is FN, Control Function and Home, or Control Function and End at the same time. So again, depends on how your keyboard is set up. Letter D, examine the status bar. So this was after hitting Control End. So down on our status bar, it tells us page 2 of 2. I have 812 words. The textbook actually says 811. No big deal. All right. Then I'm going to hit Control Home to bring me to the beginning. This moves you to the beginning of the document. Some users prefer to use keyboard commands for navigation when they are typing documents, so they don't have to remove their hands from the keyboard to the mouse or the touch screen. Number 10, use the navigation pane to navigate the document. If the navigation pane is not showing, which mine is not, I'm going to go up to my View tab, and in my Show group, I'm going to check off Navigation Pane. So this opens it up to my left, to the left of my document. And in our navigation pane, we want to have the Headings tab selected. The Headings page of the navigation pane shows a list of headings in the document, and you can select these headings to navigate to the corresponding section in that document. So these are all headings that have been formatted as headings in my document. It wants us to select who can volunteer, and you can see it brings our cursor to right before that heading in the document. We're going to select the Pages tab in our navigation bar, in our navigation pane. It shows us that we have 2 pages in our document. We can select page number 2, and it scrolls us there. Number 11, use search to navigate the document. I'm going to put my cursor into my search box, and I'm going to type the word volunteer. And it tells me that 10 results are found. So now when I click on the Results tab, it shows me all of the results for my search of volunteer. And in my document, it shows them highlighted in yellow, so I can easily spot them. But I could scroll down and pick one of them. You can see it also selects it, so it has that gray mask over it as well. So if I click the first one, it brings me to the beginning and selects that volunteer's result for me. All right, so it will jump you to that location in your document. All right, we can close out of our navigation pane. And we will leave this document open for our next activity.